that after alim divorce, he threw her clothes outside.
Siji feel at least ame move on vizuri, alikuwa na pesa yake. But that's an assumption. Unajuaje hiyo ni pesa ni yake?
On air. Presenter Ali.
Whether KRG alipotea wapi?
KRG yuko.
And is it true that nani amesota?
Nani?
Ringtone apoko.
By the way, watu wanaweza fikiria ni jokes, but vile the way naona Ringtone siku hizi ako live TikTok.
Akiomba nini?
Gifts.
Sidhani
ni jokes.
Jamani kama sote.
Of course, ini on air with presenter Ali alongside my co-host
Jasper Bravo aka Just Beast mwenyewe.
Just Beast Fitness. And of course, we want to thank you guys for the love and support yenye mmekuwa mkionyesha for the longest time since tuanze hii show last week, and it's doing really well. But other than that, lazima tupige story, na story yetu ya kwanza ni story ya drama ya kuachana kwa the Pluto na Felicity. People have been assuming things pale kwenye mitandao wakisema Pluto aligongewa, waliachana juu ya cheating, and a lot of things zenye zimekuwa zikiendelea. So the other day on Facebook, one blogger by the name Matomurethi wrote something which has caught many people's attention. This is what he wrote. So, the Pluto's ex, Felicity Shiro, has finally moved into her own place after what seems like a not-so-great exit from their marriage. Word has it that after the Pluto divorced her and threw her clothes outside, she packed up her kid and said, "I choose peace." Now, she's starting from scratch in Nairobi, shopping for the basics and adjusting to her new normal. Now, I can't help but wonder, Pluto couldn't let her take a few things. I mean, they do have a child together. This sudden change in lifestyle must be a lot for their young daughter to process. But hey, who are we to judge, right? Ladies, here's a golden lesson. Have your own money. Always be prepared for anything, even that picture perfect 20-year blah blah blah. So, it's true kwamba Felicity na the Pluto wameachana. That's the first thing. Second thing, it's true that she moved out because she did a video juzi ya house hunting. It is also true that ameonekana akishop kwa videos zake. Now, people are saying, according to this guy, he's saying what has it, I don't know this word imetoka wapi, but that after alim divorce, he threw her clothes outside, which I don't know because sijaona mahali. Then, before we get into discussion, the Pluto actually responded to this, and he said, "I don't understand why bloggers choose writing lies they can come up with about me all the time. Only if you all knew the truth, but I decided to hold my peace forever." Keyword hapa ni forever. Then akamalizia na inauma. So, hii story unaionaje?
Hii story naiona kama also it's past now. Right now tuwezi ongelea story ya nini,
clout or not,
ishapita,
waliachana ama hawajachana.
Hii ni real,
hii imeenda.
Okay, hiyo ni sad lakini but looking
considering it's a couple that you loved,
mazeni couple lingine kwa nimetambua mbaya, but still I think ukiangalia story vile events zimekuwa zikiunfold, in a way imekuwa consistent, that the lady ana try to find a way out na try to move on her own.
Yes.
Lakini assuming tuna respond to huyo blogger kwa sababu hata Pluto respond to it, right? But if I was Pluto in his case, I don't respond to such because kwa hiyo nini kuna a lot of naysaying, akona a lot of rumors
what has it on the street.
Yeah, so I think it's just somebody who mwenye anatafuta clicks, and it's not somebody who deserved a response. So I think nani anapatia these bloggers some of them power that they don't have.
Yes.
Because for instance, just trying to break down hizo vitu zenye amesema kama kununua vitu mpya. Assuming kama mlikuwa mnaishi na msee, hata kama if you live with your girlfriend in the same place or your wife, wakimove to a different place, you just want to assume that the things that mlikuwa nazo kwa ile nyumba were enough for both of you. So if you are going to have two household, It doesn't make sense.
Gawana hizo vitu.
It doesn't make sense kugawana hizo vitu because you see that new house inahitaji vitu mpya. If you can as well go and buy those things, kwani what's wrong with that? Mbona uanze kubebana na viti, nyumba ibaki na half and you guys can still afford new house because new stuff. And even talking about the fact that Jia ananunua vitu mpya anaanza from scratch, that's an assumption because we don't know who is really paying for this stuff.
Yes.
It could be Pluto.
Maybe alimpatia pesa kama
nenda answer your life because akuna mtoto na yeye. You see. That's why I see this an issue iko full na assumption. I love the fact that hatujasikia pia fair like complain about it. Hajakuja akasema eti huyu jamaa ameniacha bila kitu, sijui nini. And I think the main key kwa this blogger statement hapo chini ni hiyo story ya you guys ladies now
have your own money.
Have your own money. I think hii post ni ya feminist tu yenye alikuwa kuna agenda. After all said and done, he just had an agenda and this thing nimeona ikikuwa thrown around all over that. Feel at least ame move on vizuri, alikuwa na pesa yake. But that's an assumption. Unajuaje hiyo ni pesa ni yake? Inaweza kuwa ni baby daddy anampatia so that because if I had a kid with a lady right now, tukiachana it's different from kama mna kids. Like for instance, wewe sahi ukiachana with your woman right now, God forbid. It's different from somebody mwenyana mtoi na dem because
true.
Because mkiachana na dem bila mtoi, like in my case for instance, itakuwa her business vile live afterwards because she's my ex.
Yes.
But in your case, atakuwa your ex but your kid can never be your ex.
Yes.
Always this is my
former
ex
kid.
My former kid. You'll have to care about mali ataka. So people from out, whether sometimes things look very different from outside. When you get into the relationship, you'll understand that things are very different. I think that's why Pluto anafeel anafaa kuambia out that if only you guys knew. Maybe anamaanisha if you guys knew hata nani maybe ana take care of all these bills that you mnasema na take care of. And all, because ameacha a lot of question marks for statement yake. But I think hiyo ni assumption mingi tu jamaa kuna. I think since this is a couple yenye watu wako expect wataachana, story yao itaenda. So that guy just alikuwa anataka tu ku sound smart.
Assume leo wewe uachane na msichana ambaye uko na mtoi naye. Do you think history ya mtu kusema let me give you some money uende start a new life is okay, or do you think ulinikosea ndo imemake tuachane, you guys go and start a new life, you go figure it out, mimi mtoi nitalea tu?
I think that's a very obvious question for a normal guy. I think normal guy who has testosterone hormones in his system will care about the child. You see, and will not just let you go like that. Of course, there are these situations where unasikega wase wanasemaga eti there's a deadbeat dad. Many times, people tend to say that the guy is tuacha na mtoi, doesn't take care of us. But these are just people who look at these things from outside. Many of the times that men are usually called deadbeats, saa zingine unapataga that the lady move on. Guys find it difficult to help you when you move on.
Yes.
See, guys find it very difficult to pay for you your rent when he knows that in that house some other man is living there. Because anaanza ku notice it's like I'm not just taking care of my kid now I'm taking care of an extra man.
Yeah, kuna so, jamaa anakujaga hapo tu yani anauliza bwanako hajatuma za chai leo.
Za chai leo bana leo. Kwani leo tunakula sukuma hakutuma ya nyama.
Bana, kwani ile sukuma cabbage za leo hazina nyama.
So
hebu pigia baba mtoto bana anatutesa.
Hatujamwambia tujakula bana. So
mbie mtoto anataka chipo.
So ni mwanaume tu wa kawaida mwenye tu ako sawa mentally, a moral man mwenye ako na moral zake na ako na hiyo do. Of course you'll want your kid to have something, to have a good life. You'll not just let. In fact, that's the situation where the lady wagana. That's the only chance that a lady has ya kuenjoy pesa yangu kama yeye ni ex wangu. Akiwa na mtoto na mimi, because at least you'll believe I'll have to take care of my kid.
My only concern here ni history of Pluto. There's the last point he said is I decided to hold my peace forever. Inauma. 3 words. Peace forever. Yani hata waiongelea history. Na akasema inauma. Do you think this guy is really hurt?
The fact that atakiongelea
and then he says inauma. I think something really hurt him.
I think
from the experience ya relationship yake, I do believe that kuna kitu tu ilimhurt.
Izakuwa aligongewa ukweli maybe. You see. But yo kusema ilo his peace, I think that's a wise thing amefanya. And I think maybe he's learning from the previous
and breakup. It could also be wrong. It could be also pia mtu akona makosa na tupiga mind games, we really don't know.
Very possible.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, hata kama wewe ndio ulikuwa umekosea, the wisest thing always not talk about your ex. So I think tu ni mtu amelearn from the previous relationship, because the previous time I remember wakiachana waliongea
so much
na haiku turn out right, haikuonekana vizuri, especially wakiwa wamerudiana. Because always ugly by the way, ukiongelea msema wakati mmekosana unamdestroy, then sometimes there's a chance unaweza rudiana, then unarudiana na msemo ulikuwa ushachoma jina yake in public and all that. So I think it's just learning from that and just trying to make sure that he doesn't replicate whatever he did last time by kuongea vibaya, then maybe warudiane kesho na ashachoma.
Interesting. And now we get to another story. Because stories are relationships lazima tuzipambe mtandao kidogo.
Lazima.
So last week we saw Mungai Eve do a video enye alikuwa anafanya interview na commentator, and she said this, thank God by the time tuachane the car was written off, and she laughed. That's what she did. Now 2-3 days ago, director Trevor, who's actually the ex, was appointed as the CEO of Digital Content Creators Association of Kenya. And as it seems, it could be a big position because
what's my hype,
but we haven't heard of the digital.
Personally, I don't know what it's for, but
yeah, we don't know who formed it. But I think Kenyans wamechukua hiyo opportunity kufight Mungai Eve na kumpiga viboko. Oh, Mungai Eve typing and deleting while vomiting. Oh, alisema gari imekuwa written off. Who's laughing now? First of all, me, I want to say, I think congratulations to Trevor. If this is a big position as it seems, liona pale kulikuwa na flags za Kenya.
Liona flag pale.
Alikuwa pale ana sign kitu.
Does it have that post, does it have a physical office? Iko na office plan mali.
I haven't. Okay. I have no idea, but okay. Let's hope so.
And who was the CEO before him, or is it a new organization?
That's the thing. I think it's a new association.
Okay.
Do you think it's right what Kenyans are doing to Mungai Eve?
Yo kumonyesha zile za sasa, who is laughing now? Personally, I usually believe that when there's in a street fight, there are no rules. You see, but street fight hakunaga rules. So it's not like the fights that people have in the octagon or in the ring. There are rules. There's a referee. You are told not to hit somebody below
the belt.
You're not supposed to poke somebody in the eye, and so on and so forth. Excuse me, but in the streets there's never rules. Unaweza chukua mawe piga na mse.
Bora ushinde
hiyo.
Unaweza mpiga kiluya.
Yeah. So ama unaweza kuja na rende.
Unaweza kuja na rende.
Ukilemewa kwa peke yako. So there are no rules for street fight. And wherever Mungai Eve started, when she started throwing those missiles, was just a street fight. She started this dirty. And I think Kenyans just saw that ana deserve kupewa a counter. Because at the end of the day, when you throw a hard ball, always be ready to receive one.
Yes.
Ukirushia watu wengine hard ball, don't expect a soft one. So when he talked so badly, because hakuwa tu ana report, like in a way she was ridiculing Trevor in a way.
Yes,
you see. So after she did that, and Mungai Eve is somebody who has fans, same as Trevor. So the guys who are fans to Mungai Eve will obviously support her when she was throwing the missiles at Trevor. So when Trevor got this opportunity to serve, I believe, I think it was just fair for his fans now to fight back and feel like now this is our time to kumwambia zile za who is laughing now, because it's true. If ukiambia mtu eti kukua na yeye ilikuwa na kurudisha nyuma, then anaachana na wewe, then suddenly things didn't happen kwa life yake. Tunajiuliza tu between wewe na yeye nani alikuwa anarudisha mwingine nyuma.
Yeah. And I think this is a space that I would say that Trevor and Eve created for themselves, because after wameachana tuliona Trevor akiongelelea Eve kwa interviews.
Yeah, sure.
And it looks like Eve was the smart one. Now anytime mtu alikuwa na anaona Trevor alikuwa anaona huyu jamaa ni fala na anaongelea relationship yake. But then now Eve alikuja pia kuongelea the same relationship. You see. So I think he fight ya mafans wa Eve ama side ya Eve na Trevor, they are creating it themselves. They're creating that side. Your team Trevor, team Eve, they're creating it themselves, because if Trevor had never spoken about it, you see, angekuwa tu na wase wako side yake.
Yes.
But since he spoke about Trevor spoke about Eve, and Eve spoke about Trevor, wao wenyewe ndo wana create hii team, and wao wenyewe ndo wanafanya hii war iendelee kuescalate. That is just what I think.
What if and considering that point, what if kama wase wawili wana they're doing this, maybe not in agreement, but separately, just trying to be relevant, because as you said the other day, publicity we know is just good, whether it's bad or good, as long as people are talking about you. Don't you think that is a way, because it works for them? Right now people are talking about Trevor, some people didn't know about him and now asking questions, who is this guy? Same as Mungai. So what if maybe they're doing this intentionally just to be relevant?
It's a point. It's a point.
Because tangu waachane, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while now. What are the reasons why walinyamaza for
all that time?
For all that. Okay, what is the reason why wananyamazaga for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, then unasikia sijui hivyo amesema nini?
Or maybe
wananyamaza tena unasikia sijui Trevor amefanya.
Or maybe also they know that there aren't many other things in their lives that will interest people. Yeah. Because if you ask anybody who knows Trevor, this can sound mean, but it's the truth. Many people when you wanajua Trevor, wanajua that guy who used to date Mungai. You see, then many guys who know Mungai know that this lady, this content lady,
mwenye alisaidiwa na chali yake
akamwacha. You see, so that's the most relevant thing, I think. So they also taking advantage of that to stay relevant, which is not bad.
And it's a valid point for content creators. That is what I normally tell my friends, like, make sure you're known for the right things. Make sure people say that we like Jasper because of the way he speaks, the way he does his content. We like him for that, because that will never change. But if people start liking you because of couple goals, if people start liking you because you're dating so and so, the day mtachana, the day utaacha kukua na huyo mtu, the day the drama that makes you relevant will stop being interesting, is the day
to be the beginning of your ending.
Yes.
Yeah, because some people who are your fans because you are a couple now will be forced to take sides.
Yes.
Wengine watakuwa against you and the others will be against your ex, which is not a nice picture. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
It looks like building a house on a sandy soil or a sandy ground. It can always sink anytime.
Yeah. So there's another story ambayo nimeona hapa online, sijui kama tutaiongelea. Let's just watch it together tusikie venye huyu jamaa.
Wow. Mmesikia breaking news. Guys, news reaching my desk, nasikia ati demu wa Facebook ameshika ball. Na sijajua hiyo ball ni ya nani bado. Sijasema bado ni ya nani. Msiseme ati Mwiti amesema ati ball ni ya mtu yoyote. Lakini nasikia demu wa Facebook ameshika ball. Na hiyo ball ilikuwa basketball. Lalifull. Ulikuwa nataka umbea ina gani hiyo? Wewe. Mind your own business. Wow. Mmesikia breaking news. Guys, news reaching my desk, nasikia ati demu wa Facebook.
Mwiti is a stupid guy.
Very stupid. Yaani tumekaa tukiwatch.
Yaani nilikuwa nafikiria atasema sijui ni Obina.
Ball ya basketball.
Sijui ni ya nani. Yaani I think this is the most stupid thing I've seen today on the internet.
Ngoja nikuulize leo. Is it true that demo Facebook usually is dating this guy?
Baby wa baby.
Anakuwa na date Obina?
Let's just be realistic. Umeona ma exes wa Obina?
Si nimeona.
Acha nikwambie wa kwanza. Shalin Anyango. Huyo alikuwa ex wake
wa kwanza.
The baby mama. Huyo ni ex wake.
Akona tu baby mamas.
Angalia crush. Okay. Akona baby mama sijui ni wawili ama watatu. Angalia crush Obina ameishi kusema ni nani? Ni Ambarei.
Lakini ni crush tu. Ni wishful thinking.
Yes, wishful.
It's not.
Now look at the crush, the exes, and demo Facebook. although they say sometimes you don't marry you don't marry your crushes or the people you've been dating.
Yeah, we've seen that many
but
times.
It is very evident about taste yake ya women.
So
it is just evident, like,
so hakuna venye. Unajua mbona nimeuliza hii story? Because there was this guy the other day niliona akiwa na complain on Facebook. Amerecord a video and he was claiming that
any ex wa demo Facebook
na Obina amefanya hata waongee anymore. And apart from that consider the fact that kina nani demo Facebook never responded to it because that video ilipata publicity ingine.
They just didn't want to give this guy mileage. They just didn't want to give this guy attention and make him relevant, because it's like if someone today comes up and says, you know what, me msichana tu atokea sema mimi alikuwa ex wangu nikam heartbreak, if I know it's not true, ama niko na mtoto wake, if I know it's not true, there's no reason to really respond to it, unless it's a matter of life and death, unless it's a matter of freedom and prison. There's no point to responding to these people, because most of them do it intentionally. That atakani unakumbuka kuna mwingine alisemaga pia alikuwaga ex wa Mungai Eve na akajipata jela.
Yeah, sure.
Unaona, so these people do these things for clout. It's very obvious. But then let's look at the circumstances that led to Obina and manzi wa Facebook
kufanya kazi pamoja,
ama kukua pamoja. I think demo Facebook alikujaga tu kama guest pale kwa Obina, you see, but the vibe was really good, like the way alikuwa na crack, she's a natural, yani the way alikuwa ana release hizo jokes zake and everything, and they were kind of forming a good duo, you know, jua kuna wale watu tu wakiwa pamoja kwa like maze hii vibe iko na hawa say ni top notch. So after hapo people are like demo Facebook should be a frequent, we need to see more of
I saw that. People are really requesting. Like, in fact, she was brought severally after that.
Akaletwa mara ya pili and the vibe ilikuwa tu sawa. So Obina, being the guy he is and smart venye yeye yuko, he saw this as an opportunity and he decided niaje wacha nichukue demo Facebook, nifungue channel na yeye itwe The Weekly Show, tukiwa tunapiga umbea ya wiki.
Oh, so there's such a show?
Yeah, there's a show, inaitwa The Weekly Show.
Okay.
Yake ya Obina na demo Facebook. Simba na mwita manzi wa Facebook, by the way, wanafanyaga hizo udaku, like sijui nini imekuwa ikitrend, nini imekuwa ikiendelea.
Okay.
So now to take you back nyuma kidogo,
yes,
demo Facebook hii time yote amekuwa tu all over in a way that nimecrashia calligraph kama hawa wengine wenye wamekuwa kitafuta cloud. Nimecrashia Salasia, nimecrashia Kipsang,
yes,
sijui nani. And she also did this nimecrashia Obina. Then venye wameendelea kuzoeana ndo wameanza kumuita baby, husband, and her fans kind of think it's funny. Her fans kind of like it
that way.
And you know,
and the guys even initially say that now finally Obina found somebody that they'll be happy with. Because wanaangalia hiyo like vile wanaanga na light, like the way just to say the way they vibe and the jokes.
So Obina also akaflow nayo. So it might be a spoiler for some fans who really believe that they are dating.
Because there are so many.
But it's just obvious, like Obina and demo Facebook ni watu wanafanya kazi pamoja. I mean, let's just focus on the positive. Watu wanafanya kazi pamoja. They are a good duo. Wako na vibe. They have nice chemistry. But I don't really think that it would get to a point that they would date because ya hiyo vibe, because wanafanya show inabamba iwafanya wa date. I mean, I believe demo Facebook akona life outside The Weekly Show, outside life yake na Obina. Na Obina
akona kachali kake tu mahali,
akona kamsetu zapata hata ni tumbili. No, I'm just saying unaweza pata hata
ni tumbili,
hata ni wewe.
Ama kasipul.
Ama ni kasipul. Ama tu ni kamsetu fulani maze. Ama tu ni mheshimiwa fulani
maze tu mzito fulani.
Usiwahi sema. Wewe semaga tu uko na Obina. Usiwahi choma.
Then I think also the kitu inafanya pia, I think watu wanataka wakue pamoja. because it could be a very romantic story. It will be a very sweet story. Zile za walipatana kwa show. They didn't even look like they could date. The two of them look like different. Kama zile stories za Nigerians are out of the soap operas where a very poor lady in the village marries the prince. Usually, it always looks so romantic.
Ati beautiful Nigerian princess falls in love with the gate man.
Yeah, with the gate man, yes.
I know. We're not really trying to downgrade them on Facebook or anything.
But the character she gives,
it's
not like
her character. It's
yeah,
not like
not her as an individual. We're talking about the character.
in
And many
Anapeana.
people buy the character.
Yeah, even Obina is not Nigerian.
Sure.
So
This is a character.
and it was Steve-O.
And it was
Thompson Magana.
Okay.
So I'm just saying the character ya Obina na character ya demo Facebook, if they fell in love,
it will look so cute.
It will look so cute
because they're so diverging.
Ni kama acha nikupea tu character mbili. Ni kama character ya nani? Ni kama character ya Kabuji na Cheryl. The first time when walitudanganya wana date,
it looks so nice.
It looked like,
because they didn't look like people could date.
You know, inakaa tu yani hawa ni watu. It's like they were meant for each other. Yeah, the way ati kazi yao inaingiana, they look good together. You know, it's like Klaus and Nasieku, the TikTokers. They're not dating, you see. But when they do content together, they look so good together. It's like Colo Blue and Chris Baby. When they were doing content together, people are just like, this is just the perfect couple. It's like Tonio and Nkadha. It's like that type of content yenye watu wanaanzaga, and it just looks like, hey, this looks so perfect.
So perfect, sure.
Mpaka inafikaga mahali even watu wanaweza waforce hata mdate, by the way.
Sure.
It's a very dangerous area to be. Unaweza fika mahali unafanyaga tu content na dem fulani. Lakini watu wanasemaga maze, you guys look so good to. Hadi inaleta issues kwa relationship.
Kama wewe na Mungai hivyo wakati fulani.
Jinga.
Though this time yenye watu wako wanajua Trevor vizuri, kwa like si hao wawili wa date haki.
By the time watu wako wanajua Trevor, and people used to think like, I don't want to have that conversation.
Very good.
So let's go to the next story. Hey, let's go to the next story. There's a poster that has been doing rounds on social media, and I don't know what you think about it. So this poster, personally niliona imepostiwa na MC Tricky, and ilikuwa inakaa hivi. You see that poster?
Yeah, Morara.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on this poster? Because Morara himself has not said or made clear intentions that he's going to run for a presidential seat in 2027. The only thing that he said is that if ikifika mahali wananchi waamue kwamba wananitaka niwe leader wao, I will be their leader. And he's already wamefungua hiyo Inject Party ya the youth, na he's the leader wa hiyo Inject Party. Na what are the chances pia? Do you think he's going to defy history? Do you think he's going to do something that has never been done before? Do you think he's going to be the president? Do you think Ruto is going to have a tough time beating Morara? I don't know.
Oh, I think vile tulikuwa tunasema tu the other day, anybody who ignores Morara Kibaso is just doing that at his own risk. Kama wewe ni mtu serious na politics right now, this is somebody you are looking for. A good example is Gachagua. You see, Gachagua is a way, is strategizing himself in a way that he wants to seeing a possible coalition with Morara in the future.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've heard him make statements like, mimi na majenzi tukishikana tutachukua hii kitu
asubuhi. We will never forget. Alisema MP yoyote ambayo will vote no for the finance bill.
Yes, should forget
roads. Barabara.
Yeah.
We will never forget.
Yeah, but that's what he was saying. So he's accepting the fact that this guy is forced to reckon with. And I think Morara also knows he's got into that place. And this poster is just something by his fans just to test the grounds. This is not the first
poster tunaona.
We've seen that. We saw one for Matiangi, go around just to test the waters. We saw one for Keo Mtata, just moving around to shop, just to see who is it possible, you see, for him. And I think it's a good thing. It's a good PR just to test, also to make guys know that these guys might.
It's a possibility.
There's a possibility, so that make guys have that open mind that tukuna option if Ruto is not going to be there and Baba is not going to be there and so on. It's because we know the likes of Kalonzo have not declared whether they're going to run or not. So right now people are looking for the option, and having such a poster, especially at this time, I think it's not till time that it's just a matter of wait and see. But him giving Ruto a run for his money, he's not even giving a Ruto for a run for his money. If you're having, bro, honestly, if you're having a free and fair election right now, we don't know how it's going to be in 2027 because the campaigns are not done yet. We don't know how many people are going to vie, because there could be somebody else who will come and might change everything altogether.
Change the narrative.
Exactly. But as things stand right now, if there were elections to be held today, Ruto against Morara, I know Morara will beat Ruto in the morning very easily.
Okay, this is what I think.
If it was free and fair, that is.
This is what I think. I think given the civic education that he's been doing, if he does it until 2027, he would have a chance to beat Ruto.
No, even right now.
You see, what my thoughts are is, whatever we are seeing right now, the percentage ya the youth who are just online. Let's not forget kuna watu wako kijijini wenye wanafikiri ati Uhuru ndo president. Unajua? Kuna watu wako kijijini wenye wanajua tu, hawajui hata story ya finance bill. Hawajui, kuna watu wako huko wenye lazima wafikiwe. So far watu wenye Morara amekuwa able kufikia ni the Gen Zs wenye wako online, wenye wanaweza wana na hii. We've not seen him do rallies place hajulikani completely. Atujona mali anajiintroduce kwa watu hawanijui. We've not even seen him campaign. That's what I'm thinking. We've just seen Morara do civic education. Na hii civic education, akienda mali kama Turkana, aonyeshe venye watu wa Turkana hawajakuwa, let's say kulikuwa kujengwa, let's say shule yenye haikujengwa, the target audience might not actually be watu wa Turkana. Sawa? It might be watu wa Turkana wenye wako na smartphones, na wako TikTok, na wako YouTube, na wako online. I don't know if you're getting my point.
I'm getting it.
It's mtu kama mimi mwenye sijatoka Turkana, I'm like, this guy is doing a really good job and I would give him a chance. So he still has a long way to go when it comes to doing the civic education, not just online, but pia kwa ground. Kuambia watu, hapa walisema watajenga hii, hapa hawakujenga. It's just the way he's doing it is reaching millions of people, but watu wako online. He also needs to do something with watu wenye wako offline, wenye wanajua tu Ruto ali win and they don't know anything else. That's just my point.
Yeah, your point is
it valid?
Okay, I'm going to agree. It's valid in a way. I'm going to agree with it partially, but partially I'm going to disagree with it. And let me start by disagreeing with the part that I don't agree with. Number one, it's true that majority of people who have seen Morara are the people online. But I think it's also, it should not be accurate to assume that people who are in upcountry are not online.
Yes.
You see?
But majority of them are not.
The same way majority are not, but do you know that, majority is compared to the normal, the total population, right?
No, if you compare the people in Nairobi who are online.
Yes. Of course, in upcountry it would be less.
Not like Nairobi and upcountry. Like hapa Nairobi, ukikompare watu wako online na watu tu wako online, sawa. Na wende upcountry compare watu wako online na wenye wako online, you will find that watu wako Nairobi wenye wako online, yes wako, but kuna effect, kuna nitagwa drooling effect ama nitagwaje, kuna ile effect kuna kitu tu ina fall, kuna vitu ziko online lakini zinawafikia tu in a way, you know, like kuna mtu tu hata hajaiona Morara Kebaso but amejipata tu tao na ameona maandamano
because of benefit of proximity to the information.
Yes, like huyu Morara ni nani? Hujasikia Morara amefanya hivi na hivi na hivi na hivi na hivi. Unlike mtu yuko online huko juu, huko up country, alambua hujasikia Morara ni nani? Morara ni kijana fulani, he's been doing this. I mean, the effect is there, but it's not as big as kwa watu wako.
It's true, that part I agree with you in that. Is Morara popular enough? Is he popular enough to be the president? If there were no campaigns to be done, he's not. You see?
Yes.
Understand?
Yeah, I agree with you.
But
Campaigns zikifanywa.
Right now, I'm talking about like right now.
Venye ana inject.
Yes. Right now.
Tuko sawa.
He's going to beat Ruto because people just need to hear one thing. Hao ndio wale majenzi walikuwa wanatupigania. Huyu ndio mkubwa wao. That's it. That's all people need to know. People don't even need to know where he comes from and all that.
Yes.
That's why I think that's what I meant by if elections were to be held today, Morara will win, will beat Ruto.
Yes.
And another reason why I'm saying that is people hate Ruto so much right now that anybody who vies against Ruto will win.
Hata wewe tu yani.
Hata mimi nikivai sasa nitapiga Ruto. I believe that 100%.
Walai.
100%, bro. In fact, anybody vying against Ruto right now doesn't need even to campaign for himself.
Unasema watchdog akiamka tu leo.
Hata truth watchdog akiamka leo.
Aseme
Then he just
watchdog for president.
Then he gets a serious PR. Somebody will polish him well.
Na kwetu the only one kwa ballot.
Exactly. Wakwetu ni hao wawili. Atanyorosha Ruto asubuhi.
Hata tumbili.
Hata Eriko Mondi.
Hata MCG.
Kwanza Eriko Mondi anaweza nyorosha Ruto vibaya sana.
Wacha.
Vibaya. Eriko Mondi anaweza nyorosha Ruto without campaigns. Like right now. Right now.
Campaign.
He's more popular than Ruto right now. Yeah, Eriko Mondi right now is more popular than Ruto.
Steve Simple Boy.
Yeah, for sure. He will win for sure. Because let me tell you something. Personally, what I've learned about human behavior and reactions to emotion is that human beings, we tend to be more reactive to negative emotions than positive emotions.
Yes.
We react more to hate than love. So we will always vote against somebody we hate more than voting for somebody we love. You see, if there are two people, there are two circumstances. This is somebody mwenye tunachukia kabisa na anasimama na mtu mwingine mwenye hata tujui. Then there's another chance when there's somebody we love and with somebody that we don't even know. Then you're asked to go and vote for one of the... You can only vote once for these situations, these circumstances. Majority of people will always go to vote for that person that they don't know just to punish somebody they hate.
Yes, I get the point. Yeah. Thank you so much. Now, kuna story bado inaendelea. And nataka tu ni utu update imefikia wapi. Gachagua impeachment. We saw the other day, people are saying that he apologized to Ruto yesterday. So which I don't know if it's an apology, because there are different ways that you can frame an apology, and the way he framed didn't look like an apology. This is what he said. If I may,
in our zeal to work, I have wronged you. Please find it in your heart to forgive me.
I have wronged you.
No. That's not an apology.
I ask for your forgiveness.
I got an apology naanzaga na if. No.
Tuanzie hapo.
No.
That's not an apology.
That's not an apology.
But also, a clip has resurfaced online of Ruto. They say his history will always repeat itself, apologizing to Uhuru. He said, "Oh, I know I might have fallen short of my boss's expectations, and I do ask for forgiveness."
Yeah.
You realize that
there's a script.
Kuna script iko mahali hapa. So I don't know. Unaona tunachezwa?
I don't think tunachezwa. So far I don't think tunachezwa. It's really, but the guys who usually live in the guys who have suffer from what we call selective amnesia. They choose an information that favors their narrative when it does. Then when they see anything that is contradicting their narrative, wanailenga. They ignore it. There are people who anytime they see things looking like they look for any chance.
Inakaa tu Gachagua ni mbaya.
Inaonyesha Gachagua na Ruto wanatucheza. But when they ignore all the evidence that inaonyesha that these guys are for real are not working together anymore.
Yes. See? Yeah.
But putting that aside, so the same way tumesema story ya Felicity, I can tell you clear that the issue between Ruto and Gachagua is not a diversion necessarily. It could be used as a diversion because of the timing, but it's not a diversion. The originality of it was not to divert us. In that Ruto wanted to get rid of Gachagua. That is a fact. Is it a diversion from Adani issues? True. and that's and the Shah and the Shah forever. It's true, and that can only be explained by the timing. So he was going to impeach Gachagua anyway, but he chose when all these people issues were hot so that we can be diverted. I think that one is now out of the way.
Yes.
Now, looking at the steps that we have reached right now with the impeachment, we know now right now it's been tabled Parliament. The Speaker decided that now it's going to go through public opinion because many of the processes that have gone through the court, through the Parliament, have always been brought back to the Parliament or cancelled out altogether on the grounds of lack of public participation. Understand? Many decisions they did were nullified in court of law because of lack of public participation.
Yes.
So this time round, just to show you how serious the president is about wanting to really get rid of Gachagua, he asked Wetangula to make sure that there's some public participation, which was well advertised. It was advertised in the People Daily, in the dailies, on social media and all those, to make sure that people attend. And it was done also in 2 days. That is Friday and Saturday, just to make sure that people's opinion was recorded. So whether the real opinion of people is going to be used in a National Assembly remains to be seen. But the fact remains that that's where we are at right now, and where Ruto is right now, I think in a way he also regrets. Now let me come to Ruto. Why I'm saying that is he regrets this process of public participation because this thing left Ruto with a egg on the face. In that he thought that people are going to rally behind the impeachment process and they're going to support that Gachagua goes because of the sentiments that he made earlier.
Yeah, I think he's trying to use Gachagua as a scapegoat.
Exactly.
Because many Kenyans wamekuwa wakicomplain, kuna corruption, kuna nepotism, there tribalism, nini, and then he comes up and he looks at the situation and he's like, he tried at first ku use watu wake as a scapegoat, but he's too loyal. He couldn't do that. So he was like, who do I use? Who do we use as the sacrificial lamb for this thing? Then he tries to put it to the public that unajua ni nini? Si imekuwa ni Gachagua. So alikuwa na try, I would think opinion wise that alikuwa na try kutuambia, unaona hizi vitu zote mmekuwa mkicomplain, huyu ndo mse amekuwa akizifanya, ndio akitoka Wakenya wako at peace na the government, which is still not working. I don't know if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's not working because vile public opinion lianza, what happened?
Wote waende.
Watu walisema kufa dereva kufa makanga. That's what
kufa dereva kufa makanga,
kufa mechanic.
Yeah. Kuyagwadi na kufa malaya.
Now malaya was Ichungwa. I think that's what they meant. But
I don't know why they said that.
Yeah, I know it was Ichungwa.
Why were they saying malaya?
Or why they call Ichungwa malaya? Oh, they call him malaya because they feel like he's a political prostitute that is being used by these guys. Yeah. Because during Uhuru, he was used to fight. He was used by Ruto to fight Uhuru.
Yeah.
See. Then right now he's being used by Ruto
to fight Gachagua.
So the process did not go well because the opinion generally people are like, this thing needs to go. In fact, both of them need to go. In fact, there's this lady mwenye alibamba sana, alikuwa anaitwa, was it called
the one in blue?
It was in
is it green or blue?
In green. Yeah. Alikuwa anaitwa Cheriot.
Yes.
Jepto.
Yeah.
She's the one who said that nyinyi mnatuitaga tu wakati mnatuhitaji.
Wakati mko na shida.
Yeah, because right now it's true. Yeah. Like issues za Adani hawakuwa ileta public participation.
Yes.
Issues za Shift they never brought public participation. Yeah, you see. But now when it comes to now wakuna issues with their deputy, now wanaleta public participation.
Ndio ikae. The same thing I'm saying. Sacrificial lamb. Kuna vitu nyingi zimekuwa zikihappen. Hizo corruption, tribalism. And I'm not even saying that Gachagua is innocent. I'm just saying that kila mtu anatuma kosa yake. You see? Kila mtu anatuma kosa yake. Like
kuna wengine wako na makosa kubwa zaidi.
All these shift scandals, all these scandals za watu kutreat wazazi wetu huko Ocha kama karatasi during mikutano kuwapatia 100 200 so that they vote for them. All these stupid things. None of them is a saint. They're just choosing Gachagua. Wanamwekizi makosa zote ndio to divert sisi anga yetu iko kwa Gachagua. But the thing is, as I said, it's really not working. People
sure.
are just angry at the government. They're saying it's either the government does the right thing ama tu watoke.
Yeah, true. And I think there's a way pia washaona ni kama kuna venye hiki tete aendi go through. Because I also started seeing some pressure on Gachagua to resign. There are guys who are saying that Gachagua is going to resign before Tuesday because he can't face the parliament, you see. But
Gachagua has actually aligned up 20 advocates.
yes, very serious ones for that matter. See what we mchezo.
Paul Mwite.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
I remember the last time I saw Paul Mwite ilikuwa ni kesi ya
Petition ya
Raila.
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah, Paul
that guy is
Mwite-
a serious lawyer.
He's always a serious lawyer.
He might appear once in 2 years, lakini anatokeaga kwa vitu
Na
very serious.
anatengenezaga pesa mbaya na huyu mwingine anaitwa. There are just two lawyers niliona hapo who are very common kwa hizi cases za these election cases. Wanatengenezaga pesa vizuri. So I think that the guys who are going to win the most during all this process. But personally I'm just seeing a scenario where
Tom Mashari is there. We have Amos Kisilu. We have Elisha Ongoya. Hey, kuna ma lawyers atari.
yeah, so I think chenye nenda kufanyika ni these guys they're trying to pressurize this guy to resign. But I think chenye nenda kufanyika ni before Tuesday they're supposed to hear him on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. Now they're hearing and the impeachment and maybe they'll vote that tomorrow. They could vote tomorrow, then he heads to Senate. But the rumor I'm hearing is that there's a chance that he's not going to appear before the MPs because he knows that the MPs are planning to destroy him. The likes of Ichung'wah wanataka tu kwenda kumdestroy na kumexpose na.
And also there could be kuna point yenye maybe people are missing that. Yes, you might be having lawyers and everything, but the fact that he is guilty of these things,
which you can't tell whether he's guilty or not. We are wait to see if really guilty.
not according to the court. In real sense, as we said, hawa watu wote hakuna saint.
For sure.
So hiyo makosa yake pia labda inamtia wasiwasi.
And bro, issue to do with losing the seat as the deputy president, that's not something you joke around with. That one, even if I was in case, I love to take my best arsenal forward. I love to pick the best possible lawyers to do that. Even if I don't think in extension it shows that he's really guilty. No, it could just be because you just need the best weapon when you're going to war, especially when it's a war that is between you and your career. Because it's something, bro, that, people just think that this guy is just going to lose a job. But that's not all that is at stake.
Lose his legacy.
And he's even going to lose its political career because if you're impeached, it means you're not eligible to ever vie for any political seat ever. Even appointment, yeah. You can't even vie to be president. You see, even be an MP, even an MCA, you can never do that if he's successfully impeached. Wow. See, so there's so much at stake that he can't take any chance with it. Yeah, so I think that's why he's doing that. Then, as I was telling you, I think he's going to send the lawyers to Parliament. He might go himself, but I'm seeing, if I was to advise, I would advise him not to go. I will ask him to send his lawyers so that not to give the likes of Ichung'wah a chance because they're really waiting to destroy him tomorrow. I mean, then after the lawyers will, of course. The lawyers can represent you and they can, of course, argue your case. Then, before it goes to Senate, it could decide to now expose the government. Then it can give us now the real information what happened about Adani.
What happened about
achome tu shule kabisa na certificate.
Wenye Wanjigi alifanya.
Yeah, so that he looks like a hero.
SGR.
Yes. And I think after doing that, it will be a pressure to the Senate because the Senate will be like the judge. It will be a pressure to the Senate because the senators are usually sober compared to the MPs. The MPs are the ones who vote like robots. The senators, at least they reason, at least they debate. So at least there will be some pressure, especially from the public, to rescue him because now people will be looking at him like, he's the savior. At least he told us the truth. But as far as then after that, maybe if the senators choose still to impeach him, then he could go to the court. And because of public opinion, that he could still argue that the public opinion showed that he was not wrong at fault and is being used as a scapegoat. And as a result of that, I think the court could evict him and could say that, could acquit him or as well could find him guilty. But as far as I can see things right now, he's not going to resign and we are going to have a week of serious activities.
And content.
Yes. And also speaking about issue about Gachagua, there's something that I just don't want to miss about the treatment of Morara during the public participation.
Bomas of Kenya.
Yes. What do you think about the what really happened there? Do you think that this guy is in a way, do you think that it was planned?
Yes.
That he was going to be attacked? Or do you think that in a way that Kebaso going there, he triggered these guys? Do you think it was a trigger him going there and wanting to talk, or do you think that it was a pre-planned attack that if this guy comes in, let's beat him up?
Because here's the thing, looking at the way kulikuwa na groups kadhaa pale.
Yes.
One, kulikuwa na groups za political leaders,
Yes.
and that is also MPs wenye walikuwa wanasema Gachagua must go.
In fact, all the politicians there walikuwa side ya
Yeah.
Gachagua must go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then kulikuwa na side ya wananchi wenye walikuwa wanasema sisi hatujali, nyote muende.
Yes.
Then looking at Kebaso who was coming, obviously angekuwa side ya wananchi yenye inasema wote waende.
Yeah. Because he had even made his point known before
Yeah,
even he went.
yeah. So, but we know this political our politics. Of course wakikuwa mahali lazima wakuwe na guns wao.
Always.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because wanajua kineza nuka.
Yeah, anytime.
Now when they heard that Kebaso is coming, they knew say he won't be for us, he'll be against us. Atasema Gachagua aende. In fact, maybe their fear was atasema Gachagua abaki, because the way these people have been playing this game is that they were thinking that mtu kama Morara ataside na Gachagua.
Yes.
Because wanaona
Gachagua
is against the government, but now the government is saying they're against Gachagua.
So he'll support anything that the government. He'll be against anything that
my friend is my enemy. So the friend of my the enemy of my friend.
Yeah, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yes, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Yeah. So, but first things first. Obvious they were just scared of him. So tell me why hakuna mtu yeyote alikataza kuingia isipokuwa yeye.
Yeah.
Because when they heard that he's coming, lazima wangesema huyu jamaa asiingie.
Na kufika kwa mlango alikataza kuingia na watu wake. Aliambiwa you can only enter with one person.
Yes. Na alipoingia hata kabla aongee guns washaanza kurusha. So we cannot really expect our guns kusaidia the public, because the public wanted all of them to go.
Sure.
The public did not even care about the impeachment. Wanasema hawa watu wote waende. And hawezi kuwasaidia government. So it only makes sense to tell you that these political leaders hired some goons to do what they did to Morara.
So it was a pre-planned.
Of course.
Just in case akuje to deal na, because even the MC now something that we just need to condemn is the fact that even the MC, who was TJ Kajwang, the MP for Ruaraka, was even inciting these guys on the mic. Even he was saying that kabisa napenda Nairobi sana, hey piga kabisa, and even Elijah was saying piga hey, and I was like, is that what public participation is supposed to be, and is that not a criminal offense, just inciting people to beat up somebody?
Jeez. And
making matters worse, the fact that when he got in, the police asked him to enter with one person.
Yes.
Assuming that maybe the police was part of this. Then when he was being attacked, alipigwa. I remember even when he was coming out of Bomas of Kenya, there were policemen who were seeing him being attacked and they were doing nothing. In fact, they were giving way for the goons to follow him and try to beat him up.
Yes.
You see, so that issue, it wasn't for me. Of course, according to me, I think it wasn't a good show, especially
coming from them.
Alafu tumekuwa tukisema that Kenya is a growing democracy. It didn't look very democratic, because a democratic type of governance, or a democratic nation is where everybody is allowed to have their view, even if your view is contrary to the view of the person who is organizing the event. Because I even remember Aladwa saying that eti kama hujaalikwa meeting usikuje. Then I was like, wait bro, who told you this event was yours? This is a public participation. This is supposed to, it's when
any Kenyan
is
amealikwa.
Exactly, any Kenyan amealikwa. Ni wewe amue kama utaki kuenda. You see, but he was saying that sika hujaalikwa usikuje hapa. Like the guys are just so full of them things, and I think pia washakuwa, these guys were ODM washaanza kuwa carried away with little power nyawapata because of their proximity to the presidency, because wana sahi wako karibu na president, so they think they can do anything they want, which is sad, bro.
I think they're just so stupid.
Yeah, for sure, it's a very stupid move.
Yeah, I just think.
That is
even the problem that we have with our country, that we just elect people who are stupid,
who are very stupid,
and appoint people who do not even know their roles. They're just arrogant. They're stupid, and they just have money. It is what it is.
Yeah, like the lack of Alado, but unaweza sema kuna nini? It's just money. Yeah. It's just money. As long as you can give guys handouts.
But one day Kenya is going to change.
It's going to change, and that one day can be so.
One day we're going to have real leaders. One day we're going to have these stupid people rot in prison.
For sure.
And one day Kenya is going to stand and will never bleed again.
And do you believe one of those guys who are going to go to prison and rot? Do you think Kasmuel Makoire
Kasmuel Kajudas.
yeah, the guy, but then the guy, there's this time that tuliona yeye alipewa chance ya kuongea kwa Bomas of Kenya, and
Which is very weird, by the
which
way.
is very weird.
Yes.
Especially after
Like-
Morara amepigwa.
Morara apigwe, then Kasmuel
Anaongea,
apewe
anapewa chance.
na akipewa chance
Yeah.
anasema Gachagua must go.
Anasema Gachagua must go. Alafu another thing, juzi there's this lady, there's this guy mwenye alikuwa amekaa nyuma yake. Sijui kama uliona clip ya this guy.
Niliona.
The guy anasema eti Kasmuel alikuwa nyuma yake na waliingia na Alai. Alai mwenye online tumekuwa tukiona what has been happening between Kasmuel na Alai. Like they've been having
saying amekuwa kimentor.
nini. So they said that waliingia pamoja. Then a certain MP who happens to be MP wa Madare, Oluoch, Honorable Oluoch, who can now call dishonorable Oluoch. Now they were sitting there with dishonorable Alai, dishonorable Oluoch, and now dishonorable Kasmuel.
Hey, Kasmuel hata hajafika
Yeah,
hapo.
amechoma. So they were there seated talking, and the guy was like asking him, unataka kuongea? Then he was like, yeah, nataka kuongea. Then he was told, fine, ukienda pale, make sure umeongea, ukasema Gachagua must go. Na lazima useme eti ili Kenya iendelee, Gachagua must go. And nothing out of the script. And that's exactly what he said. And he did not even condemn whatever happened to a fellow Gen Z.
Yeah. And it shows you what the government wanted the Gen Z to do. It shows you what the government wanted the youth to do. To use Gachagua as a sacrificial lamb, wamue aende, so that everything could go back to normal.
So they think
And
in a way,
they're thinking in a way that Kasmuel could have some influence, of which he doesn't. But then Kasmuel,
without Gen Zs, doesn't have any
kwa Gen
influence.
Zs, hana
Hana
influence. The only thing that he has is the fact that he uses quotes kwa speeches zake. Anavaa makoti fulani. I don't know where he buys his suits. Alafu he's just vocal.
He's somebody who's very brandable, like the way he looks.
Amejibrand tu.
Yeah, sure.
So, for the government to think that Kasmuel is among the people that we take as our leaders, and it just shows you how much they're missing the point.
They're really missing the point. They're really missing them. And this also confirms, now looking at the story,
Kasmuel has been amekuwa victorious in a few instances. First instance, ni yenye alikimbizagwa akaingia pale Nation.
Very fast.
And Kenyans just loved it because it was hilarious.
Yes.
The second part was when, I don't know, people say that he faked his abduction.
Yeah, sure.
And that is how he got into limelight.
Yes, sure.
He's just coming as no one saw Kasmuel akishikwa, no one saw akiachiliwa, and he's just vocal.
Then it was good for the camera.
He's far away from being the Gen Z leader.
Yeah, then it's good for the camera. You see, like, he looks the part, he sounds the part. Now, like, the TV stations were like all over him. Because we know our Kenyan media, they're very lazy. So they don't even have get time to look for the people who can really come to their shows and give them real points.
Wanaangalia tu mtu akona clout.
Mtu akona clout anakimbilia haraka kuja uongee. And I remember even there's this time that Prezo alimongelea akasema this is just a cloud chaser, a busybody cloud chaser.
Yes.
Na watu waliingilia Prezo vibaya.
Hata mimi.
Yeah, hata wewe uliingilia Prezo. But now come to look at it backwards, because sometimes there's somebody who said that if you want to feel in the doors of life, you can only feel them backwards. Ukishaangalia nyuma ndio una feel in dot. That one plus that one makes sense. You can never see them forward. So like for instance, right now when you start looking back, we remember now Maverick Aoko saying this guy is a cloud chaser.
He is.
We are now seeing we saw Prezo. Then we saw him there.
Niliona juzi ameandika sijui mkitaka kuni-unfollow mni-unfollow wote. We don't even care about who follows you, by the way. The only thing that I can tell you is that you're a cheap cloud chaser.
Angekuwa patient by the way. Ama unaweza sema maybe
I think Kasmuel angekuwa he was just
he was on the right track in a way.
In a way he was just in the right track.
Yeah.
He was far away from being our leader.
He was in the right
But
direction.
Ni msee mwenye kama angekuwa na hidden interests zake
angezificha bado.
Angezificha na angeangukia kacheo mahali.
Yes.
Na angeangukia ka trust mahali.
Watu wamuone kama
angeangukia ka appointment
mahali tu.
But hii kitu ya yeye kufikiria kona influence Gen Z viva bla 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 imeingia kwa akili yake na akafikiria akipewa some few coins aongee mbele ya watu tutamsikiza, you're far away from there. And this one shows you where we are as a country. Trust me, hata ingekuwa ni Morara amesema Gachagua must go,
hata yeye angekuwa ameisha hiyo siku,
receiving the same canes that Kasmuel is receiving.
For sure, that's true.
It's because we're not choosing a leader mwenye tutamweka hapo anunuliwe. We're not choosing a leader mwenye we're just choosing a leader who's going to do the right thing. And that is a fact.
Sure. Because hata hiyo nimekoga issue ya watu sana. Leader mwenye atanunuliwa. Hata baba for instance, the biggest claim yakoga against him ni kununuliwa. So people are desperate for somebody mwenye anakaa hizi nunuliwa.
Yes. Yeah. So let's end that story ya Kasmuel ka Judas. Let's go to a story ambayo itamalizia history. Yote ni story entertainment. Of course, it's a conversation that I really love to have near many people who come in the limelight all of a sudden. People ambao hatuwajui but tunashtukia wametokea tap, like huyu ni nani, sijaijua huyu mse. For example, kama unakumbukaga mtu kama Githeriman. Yes, mtu kama Githeriman, mtu kama Kaveve Kazoze unibebe mpaka mbele ya Kerende.
Goliath. Yaani wale wametoka tu
Goliath. Mtu kama Kenyan Kante, mtu kama Stupid Boy, mtu kama the Goliath guy. All these people, they come. Ugali man. Kuna Ndudhi man. Ndudhi man alifanyaga nini time ya Jalango. I don't know what this guy did, by the way. There was Ndudhi man. Kulikuwa pia na ule mse wa jina utaki.
Ile jamaa wa jina utaki. Kulikuwa na Nduru man.
Yeah. So the question
was it a Nduru man or there was Nduru man?
Even pia Nduru man.
And the whistling lady alikuwa anaitwa
Priscilla wa Imani.
Yeah, that one too.
So someone posted on Nairobi Gossip and he said, just a question, kwani what goes wrong with these youngins that come trend then after sometimes to know wamerudia their normal life, like the likes of kina Gen Z, Goliath, Ngesho Vasha, Kenyan Kante, Stupid Boy. Shida wa their team or shida ni nini? Ni hao wenyewe. Juu sahi Goliath ni donda. Ask your followers tupate maoni. Shida ni gani? Ni hao wase ama ni management ama ni nini? Ama it is just a moment that inaspakigi, because ideally in the US, in the UK, international, the people become internet sensation once. They may never remain relevant, but in a way their lives change. Is it that our industry is still young?
That's why, by the way, you are better at this stuff, Kunishi. The issue the issue about it, entertainment stuff. I think we're gonna better experience, but I think whatever you said makes sense because I had never looked at it this way. Is it that our industry is weak? I mean, too young, and not strong enough to. Because when the industry is strong enough, it allows a room for some mistakes.
Yes, and also some mistakes.
Exactly. Yeah. And when it's just too small and too tight, I think it's more of survival for the fittest. And it's less forgiving for mistakes, and the less fitter you are, there are chances of you just falling back. And this reminds me of there's this quote this book I was reading by Jay-Z, and he was talking about the consistency that people lack in any industry. And he was talking about that, according to him, success, for it to be called phenomenal, is not hitting and being known for a certain time, but being known but consistently for at least 10, 20, 30 years. He was talking in terms of decades, not in terms of years.
Yes.
In 1 decade, 2 decades, 10, 30 years. He was saying that is now what shows the real measure of success.
Yes.
And he was saying that when it's less than that, it's just clout. It just happened. It's just a chance that happened to you. Nikapia to just something that happened to you by chance, and you couldn't take advantage of it. And bro, and now that is we can explain that way about our industry being weaker or being younger, but the reality is, personally, I don't usually like living a life like somebody who living life as though how life could have been rather than how life is.
Yes.
Like, okay, let's say our industry is weak and is small. So we wish it could have been bigger. In other words, when you say that, that's what you mean. When that's your argument, it means that you wish it could have been bigger. But you know, wishing can just end at wishing.
Yes,
the reality is, this is what we have. In the industry,
what do you do?
Yeah, what do you do with it?
Yes.
And I think one of the biggest things that these guys usually do when they find themselves in limelight, number one, they mistake fame with success. You see, you're known, somebody knows you for something, and
Ushapata manager. Then the following day, you don't even know. You have not even figured out what you want to do with this fame.
Yes. Because let me tell you something, bro. People can know you. No, being known is not a big deal. It can happen to anybody.
Yes.
Anything. You can do anything random and people will know you.
Yes.
But what will really pay your bills and what will really pay you and what will make people now like you, because usually that step of success, of fame and success and getting known is that when you want to get in showbiz, the first step is getting known. The second step is getting liked. You get. Then now the third time is now when you get to that fanatic part where now people can even worship you, people can buy from you. So they have to know you, like you, then they become your fans. But now people usually confuse being known by being liked. You've been known, like for instance, somebody like
Kaveve
Kazoze. People knew her because of the song. But it takes a little bit of consistency
for them to like you.
You have to bring something on the table. Somebody like
Steve Simple Boy. He's played it perfectly.
The guy was known because alikuwa sura fani, the first thing. But he did not just come all the time and anapiga picha ya sura yake na tuposte because hiyo ndo tuliona. He started doing something about it. He started giving some hit after hit and it became consistent and people liked it until to date. So people think so much, and I think it is what people see from outside. Like people who are not famous from outside, you assume that everybody who is famous is rich and is successful. So anybody who wants to be successful in that line of showbiz, they think that the first and the last step is getting known. So they get known, then wana relax, wana feel zile za esa pesa itakuja tu, not knowing that people will know you, yes, but for them to like you,
they need to seek something.
You have to be giving them something.
Yes.
If you think you're funny, start giving us comedy. And a good, hata mtu kama sasa this guy mrefu anaitwa Goliath alijulikana because ni mrefu. But trust me bro, nobody like you because when you're mrefu. You don't give a fuck about your height. Unaweza kuwa as tall as you want. You understand? But people do not give a fuck about you unless there's something you're doing about it.
Yes.
When you're mrefu, so unacheza bake, ama when you're mrefu, when you bodyguard wa nani, ama when you're mrefu, because right now I can see.
Are you a model?
Are you a model? Yeah. What is it that you refu yako?
Inakusaidia.
Yeah, tulikujua because when you're mrefu. Ni kama Casimiro tulikuwa najua because alikuwa very fluent. You see? But apart from that, uko tu hapo na madress na kuonekana ukawa umeua masuti and so on and so forth. Yeah. So I think these guys usually just waste that opportunity. Now isn't it opportunity which are very rare? It's very rare to be known.
Telling you.
Yeah. Now ukikuwa known, I can only advise you that take that chance, sit down with people who know, because maybe umejulikana now you don't know. Sit down with people who know and ask them, bro, what can I do? Because everybody in our life usually has that sober person. And it's ni kanko yako fulani. Ama auntie, you don't need to go and look for a manager. Ask them, what can I bring to the limelight now that I'm in the limelight?
Yes.
You see, or even approach some people. Majority of these people who are successful are, when I say successful, I mean success in showbiz.
Yes.
Because some of them are successful in showbiz, but their personal life is pathetic.
Yeah. Let me give you a good example of people who got famous.
Yeah.
I'll put quote in quotes overnight. Like just like they became an internet sensation.
Yeah.
And boom. Up to right now, they've used it. They have a life out of it, and they're doing good. Aziad. Aziad, when she did the Utawezana challenge, before she did the Utawezana challenge,
nobody knew about her.
Watu walikuwa namjua uko TikTok, watu walikuwa namjua. She alikuwa na two fans, but not as much as the way she blew up time ya Utawezana.
She was just a TikTok celebrity. She was not a real life celebrity.
Yes. Yeah. She was just TikTok famous.
Yeah.
Like alikuwa anajulikana pale
kwa TikTok, yeah.
But she got almost 1 million followers in like less than a month, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
She made people join TikTok. She became the talk of town. But she continued. Aliendelea kufanya kitu ilimfanya kuwa famous.
And look at her now. She has a babu na momba.
Hapana. No, what hapo nitamtetea.
Hapo
Look
nitamtetea.
at her right now.
Okay.
She's a radio presenter
Yeah, sure.
at Sound City.
Yeah.
Look at her right now. She's a brand ambassador of big even international companies.
Yeah.
She's still doing what made her famous.
Sure, for sure.
And she's now a social media influencer. She's a fashion influencer. She's doing crazy
She
things.
used it really well.
Yes.
She used it really well.
Let's go to someone like Triomio. When he did Cheza Kama Wewe, kavas fulani, was it Cheza Kama Wewe?
Yeah, it was Cheza Kama Wewe.
Unaweza nyonga sana mkono yanze kumeza gwembe.
Yeah.
The guy did that.
Hiyo ndio lazima ukumbuke.
The guy did that. Hiyo ndo line ilikuwa inajulikana sana.
For real.
Na watu wakasema huyu ata trend sahi na aishi. But he got the mom. Who was the manager?
Yes.
Who is actually still the manager.
Yes.
Wakafanya remix na wasanii wakubwa. Akafanya collab na sahi is a household name. He's doing brands.
Yes.
On brands.
Yes.
That's another good example.
Yes.
But angeachia hapo kwa hiyo ngoma yake,
yes,
asiwetu ngoma nyingine.
Angekuwa tu stupid boy. Angekuwa tu stupid kama stupid boy.
Yeah, angekuwa another Caesar.
Yeah.
You know, one hit wonder akaenda alipotea.
Yeah, sure.
Look at Mungai Eve.
Yeah.
Mungai Eve alifanya content pale YouTube nini, she became famous. Right now she's still doing her YouTube thing.
Yeah.
She's still doing social media influencing. Yeah. She's doing
she ain't a good example though there. Mtoe. She's not a good example. She did not come out of nowhere. Yeah, aku come out of nowhere.
Kwa nini?
She did not come like ni kama wewe. You guys did not come out of nowhere.
We worked for it.
You worked for it.
Okay,
yeah.
That's another sure. Okay, sawa.
Yeah.
Look at another example of nani amepata hii kitu na akaitumia vizuri.
Watu wametumia vizuri. Mtu kama
Steve pia.
Steve
has been really fighting for his chance. Yes. Despite the fact that tumeona channel zake zikikuwa pulled down, Instagram yake ikikuwa pulled down.
Yes.
The guy never gives up and keeps pushing. He comes up with new stuff every time, new songs every time, just to show you guys, despite the fact that nilijulikana. But then not just Steve alijulikana kwa ile story ya Lingugi when he was saying that watu wanamuonaga mtaani wanasema anakaa nyani.
Oh, okay.
You remember that story?
Yeah, I remember that story.
It was very emotional. Then they formed the Handsome Boys thing. Yeah. Akatoa ngoma, akatoka Made in Kibera, akaenda sijui wapi, Men in Business, akatoka huko akaenda kwa you know. So you see this guy has really been fighting for his space.
Yes.
And that is the thing. Once you get that space, which is very rare, just fight for it. Because the truth is, over 95%, even 99% of us never get that chance.
For sure. It's rare to be known, bro. It's rare to break it. Kuna watu wanaandika mangoma, bro. The people I know wenye wameandika ngoma more than 20.
Hata 500.
Hadi 5 na hajulikani na ziko online na nakwambia
ziko online. Another people who I feel maybe wali waste chance yao would be kina Ethic. Walikujaga na ile lambalolo. And there was some consistency mahali and they were like breaking out of that moment fame to be household names, and then wakachana and they messed up and right now wako tu. So even akina Sailors Gang,
those hiyo rende tu ya nini, hiyo rende tu ya urban gengeton.
Umetaja urban tone. It's a good thing you've mentioned it because hata wao wasipochunga
watakuwa tu hivyo,
kutakuwa tu na one or two people who will be successful from that group.
But that's how world goes. I think that's how it goes, especially in this mkikuwa mafala wengi, because okay, what I'm saying that is, and I also wanted to ask you, do you think that in a way inaweza kuwa lifestyle pia wanaishi ina contribute apart from the fact that they don't take advantage of the situation, because that is undoubtable. It's true that these guys, many of them wakipata they become famous, they relax, they think fame will come with the money. And how about the ones wenye wanatoa ngoma, because okay, Stupid Boy for instance, a good example, yeah, ni mtu pia lack to consistency. Alitoa one hit, then he thought that was enough. Instead of
like, ngoma nyingine
kama ametoa is not been good enough. Yeah, you see, it's not been good. The fact that watu hawajasikia ngoma yako, it means you know, it's not sometimes people think that being consistent ni kutoa mangoma kila time, but chenye unatoa pia ina matter. Kwa sasa umekuwa consistent unatoa ujinga, you see. Yeah, maybe the first one if people saw that the first music will make so much effort, you spend so much time, because when a good art that somebody has spent time on, you can always tell by just listening. Then after you unaanza tu kufanya vitu tu juju, design ya kina Bahati nowadays wanatoa tu ngoma yenye unasikia like, bro, who is the Bahati, where did he go to? People get to a place, I think they relax, they become lazy,
they just get comfortable.
But and talking about comfortable, I wanted to ask you about, don't you think that pia lifestyle yao waga ina nini, and I'm saying ina contribute, ama some of them kama Gengeton guys, does it mean that some of them easy life vitu zenye wanaimba wanazifanya hizo vi wakisema story ya madem,
Mabangi,
mabangi na alcohol na drugs generally.
Yes.
Do you think they do this stuff because
I think they do.
Because there's a day niliona stupid boys sika uliona hiyo video
Akiwa mlevi kwa interview.
akiwa mlevi leave alone hiyo. Kuna wengine nilimwona alikuwa ameenda quiver. Alafu
alikuwa ameenda event. Akasema mimi ni stupid boys
nini. Alafu kutoka nje after event imeisha akaanza kutukana wasee hadi jamaa kampiga mangumi zingine
sana. That's another story. Yeah.
You remember that? Yeah, then I was like, yani is a guy who's nikaangalia ngasema if this guy ameanza kujidestroy because mtu kimwona anafanya some things una true this is somebody moving towards a very wrong trajectory.
Let me tell you one thing
that is leading to nowhere but destruction.
I've not been in the industry for the longest time. Kuna watu wengi sana nimewapata. There are older guys nimewapata. I think sisi ni wale tu COVID babies. The other day when tulianza nini, the people came even way before that. But there's one thing that has just been consistent, and I'm going to tell anyone who's watching this that alcohol, hard drugs, and irresponsible sexual behaviors have been the biggest destroyers of people who could have been the biggest celebrities here in Kenya, who could have been the biggest brands here in Kenya. And that is not, it's not a coincidence. And if you are one of them and you're using it, ama you are in this thing that nimeongelea, trust me, your success is going to be short-lived. Maybe right now you're successful and you're like, anasema hivyo but si mimi ukunywa daily na niko bado on top. It's not going to be there for long.
You can only make bad mistakes enough times.
Yes.
Yeah, you can only get away with them enough times. It gets to a place where it catches up with you. That the mistakes, like what happens sometimes you make small mistakes. Umekunywa leo, so ulilala late.
Sisemi watu waache kunywa.
Yeah. Mimi nasema watu waache. What I'm saying that is, if you start making mistakes, let's say umekunywa late, if you're really serious about your success that is, and we know about content creation, we unajua how engaging it is. Very engaging, and it's so much time consuming.
Yes.
And when I say engaging, not just physically but mentally too. Yes. You need your mind and your brain to be sharp at almost all the time. You see, hautaki story kupite. And also time when you're in an interview, you want to be sharp throughout the time. You understand? Then here you are. You slept late yesterday because you're busy drinking. You wake up in the morning. Hangovers.
Ka 5 hours.
Ka 5 hours. Then you shoot leo but late. So video ya leo utaipost kesho. Then another day, maybe one of the weekends, because during weekends you drink a little bit too much. Then you are called for a meeting by a client on Monday, but you couldn't hear because you slept too late and you overslept. Then the client gave the job to somebody else. These mistakes, when you do them one tomorrow, they don't look like anything.
They'll pile up.
But they pile up. Before you know it, by the time now you are when you will start feeling the effect, it will be too late sometimes even to help yourself out of it.
Wow. Thank you so much. I think that is with the note yenye tutamalizia our today's conversation. We really hope that you've enjoyed it. If you've watched the video mpaka mwisho, please do comment and let us know. Let us know on what we can improve in our segments. Also let us know on maybe what you think we could also be talking about. Thank you so much, Jasper Bravo, aka Just Beast Fitness. I think one of these days we're going to be having a fitness conversation. But anyway, you have anything else to say?
Oh, nothing. I just want to say that this episode was sponsored by Inatronics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, they have all Apple products, from iPhones to AirPods to phone cases to everything, anything Apple, to MacBooks. Kama unahitaji, just make sure you call the number or WhatsApp the number on your screen. Say Presenter Ali and Jasper really sent you to do this. And thank you so much for watching the video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.